In this Torah portion, Pesach number 8, Adonai said, "Every year you must take 1/10 of everything your seed produces in the field and eat it in the presence of Adonai your God. In the place where he chooses to have his name live, you will eat the 10th of your grain, new wine and olive oil, and the firstborn of your cattle and sheep, so that you will learn to fear Adonai your God always. But if the distance is too great for you, so that you are unable to transport it, because the place where Adonai your God chooses to put his name is too far away from you, then when Adonai prospers you, you are to convert it into money, take the money with you, go to the place which Adonai your God will choose, and exchange the money for anything you want, cattle, sheep, wine, other intoxicating liquor, or anything you please, and you are to eat there in the presence of Adonai your God, and enjoy yourselves, you and your household. Adonai also said, observe the month of Aviv and keep Pesach to Adonai your God, for in the month of Aviv, Adonai your God brought you out of Egypt at night. You are to sacrifice a Pesach offering from flock and herd to Adonai your God, in the place where Adonai will choose to have his name live. You are not to eat any hametz with it. For 7 days you are to eat with it matzo, the bread of affliction, for you came out of the land of Egypt in haste. Thus you will remember the day you left the land of Egypt as long as you live. Also, he said, 3 times a year all your men are to appear in the presence of Adonai your God in the place which he will choose, at the festival of Matzot, at the festival of Shavuot, and at the festival of Sukkot. They are not to show up before Adonai empty-handed, but every man is to give what he can in accordance with the blessing Adonai your God has given you. Also in John chapter 20, verses 20 and 22, it says, having greeted them, he showed them his hands and his side. Shalom Aleichem, Yeshua repeated. Just as the Father sent me, I myself am also sending you. Having said this, he breathed on them and said to them, receive the Ruach HaKodesh. There is a lot going on in these passages. If it is God's timing for us to receive the Holy Spirit, then everything follows from that. We are given guidance and direction for our lives. We can be heavenly and still be on this earth and have access to the spiritual realms. For example, a short time after starting to attend my first Messianic temple, I dreamed I had holes in my hands and feet. I also dreamed I was assigned to memorize the words of a song performed there called Sovereign Lord. When I wanted to quit the dance team soon after starting there, a strong thought stopped me. In this portion, Adonai also mentions giving 1/10 of what you produce in your field. He implies if you suffer hardship, you can use a trade-in system. People still do that today. For example, my friend used to sign for the deaf people at that congregation I was referring to earlier. This barter system also can work the other way. As a girl, my mother got compensated for singing at the Cotton Club in Harlem, New York, with a coat and free lunch. Many years ago, I would get taken to a restaurant in DuPont Circle in DC for participating in dance fashion shows, and we were also paid in food, and also in Baltimore as well for that. My son in LA has had similar experiences with his acting, modeling, just being paid in other networking other ways. We were rewarded with those networking opportunities that led to other things. Somewhere in the Bible, I believe, it says it's not good to overextend yourself so much that you are in need of help yourself. In other words, I guess a burden to other people. Even so, it is important to trust God to provide for us. We also need to show obedience, which is why we celebrate Passover. And here in this new congregation of mine, I have really felt excited about it. And it's not just me. I have sensed it from everyone here as well. Something is blossoming here in this congregation besides the beautiful, long-awaited spring season. And it's been so nice celebrating Passover with you this past week as well. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good job, Sue.